Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another session of Pathfinder. It is I, your Dungeon Master, Jake, and my crazy cohorts of fucking assholes.
Accurate, but rude.
Truly.
I am indeed on several psychiatric medications.
He called us cohorts.
That's big. I am wanted in 7 municipalities level of vague threats there, Dave. I love it.
I'm behind 7 proxies.
Yeah, that's definitely. I have warrants in Iowa dating back to 2013 for several bank robberies. Energy.
I have warrants in Ohio dating back to 1783.
Oh,
Those-
Lord.
Those are way past the statute of limitations, methinks.
Also, they can't have warrants out on me because my social security number isn't valid half the time, remember?
That is true.
Oh,
You are only a person some of the time.
mood.
I would take a picture of the document that I have to carry with me to places sometimes to prove that my social security number is real, but then I would be posting a picture of the document that verifies my social security number, and I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, no, that's not smart, especially on the internet. That's
that is,
full on.
yeah.
Please give your full name, address, social security number, and the name of your dog.
Sonic needs your help to stop Dr. Robotnik. He just needs the number on the front of your parents' credit card and the numbers and date on the back.
I will
Look,
say, I
I'm just
love the
saying.
idea of you accidentally posting that and somebody stealing it and only being able to use it some of the time themselves.
Oh, I was about to say, like, I'd be more impressed if somebody successfully stole my identity because I can't even use my own identity half the time.
Someone steals your identity, brings it back like an hour later, like, bro, this shit broke.
I'm like, shit, I know. I've been dealing with it my whole ass life.
Just
Fucking let them
just
have it.
shit's
Maybe
broke.
they can
Tell me
timeshare it
about
with you, so they get to be you half the time. At least then somebody is you.
No, they only can use it, and that's when it's broke, and then Dave only uses it the other half the time when it's broke, so everybody just gets it while it's fucking broke.
Oh shit, is this like a really bad born identity setup?
It's
the born identity crisis.
Yeah, it's the gone identity.
For the record, and TJ knows, like, none of this is exaggeration. I actually did have to go to the Secretary of State and have a notarized piece of paper made because of how many times my social security number is shown as invalid at government agencies.
It's true, actually.
Like, trying to get my ID, I had to do that.
It's like a more official version of the GameStop that thought TJ was 300 years old.
That one was fun.
I'm sorry, what?
One time I was just kind of giving out my information to get a power-up card, and September 30th, I think I said 1792 because I was so far gone, I just couldn't think of words. And the dude looked at me dead in the fucking soul of my eyes and was like, "I'm putting that in there." Sure as fuck. My Power Ups reward members card was for Thomas Marshall, born September 30th, 1792.
Yeah, so when he went back to the GameStop when that guy wasn't there.
Oh my god, yeah. Because I basically, like, he worked day shift, so he was there anytime I was there. When he eventually quit because GameStop is a grinding mill,
Yeah.
the next person to have to read my Power Up rewards information was like, "All right, this is for Thomas Marshall. When's your birthday?" I was like, "It's right. It's in there, right?" Because I had forgotten at this point too.
God damn it.
It did not. They fixed it, unfortunately.
Oh my god.
But for the longest time there, I was a 300-year-old customer.
Just picking up fucking Assassin's Creed and shit.
Yeah.
Go to grab the news Assassin's Creed, just like, I want to see how right they got this.
Yeah, it's a nostalgia trip for me at this point. It's really what it is. Ah, Italy. Back in the old days.
So normally about this time is when I would be recapping the last few sessions. However, because Dan missed the last session, I'm not going to spoil anything, and instead, we're just going to start a little differently. Mahajapit!
Yes.
The party had come back to the Next Best Thing tavern. And after dinner and some drinks, you had decided, you were tired of the long journey and trip. You were going to get some shut-eye. Head to bed early. Get some rest. So you headed upstairs. At some point, Zendros came upstairs and started doing, the usual Zendros stuff with books, sitting by the window.
As he does.
Yes. But eventually you drifted off back to sleep. And about 11 o'clock in the evening, the door is pushed open very violently as Lorenz helps carry in a very bloody Pax.
No, Fef.
A very bloody Fef. A Pax looking fairly beat up as well, into the room. And I think Aslan follows in the rear with a gentleman that you don't recognize as a human with dark hair and a very scruffy looking beard.
Yeah, Maha probably like jolts up a little bit at the door first slamming open, and just goes to rub his eyes. I was just falling asleep. What's it? Gods, you all look like shit. What happened out there?
We do good work.
I don't know that I believe you.
I mean, if this is what we look like, imagine what we left behind.
That's what I'm worried about.
Good work.
From the looks of you, I would say lots of blood is what you left behind.
Little scorch marks too, I think.
Yes, and some
Okay.
cinches.
Okay, can we slow down? What the fuck did you guys do?
I'm gonna set Fef down and close the door.
We
Yep.
made a friend.
Hello.
We made an accomplice.
Hello.
Okay, from the beginning, from the last time I saw you fuckers, what happened?
I can actually tell a portion of this story. We did a walkabout of the city for the day, gathering information as we could.
Oh, also, Beth and Pax, don't forget you're starting this session with 3 hero points.
Oh, yeah.
Carry on.
Anyway, so we, as discussed, we attempted to check to see at the Adventurous Guild if there was a coded message left by other contacts that was left for us.
Motherfuck.
It's especially fun when you hear Jake mad over TJ's mic.
It is a little funny.
It's
just a little.
special. We heard rumor of a meeting going on late at night in a clandestine fashion, and then decided to set upon the city otherwise to see if there was anything more we could find. Information was not easy coming, so we decided to act on the information we did have about this clandestine meeting, at which point it happening at night and in a quieter, isolated section of the city in the warehouse district, I figured it best to send the objectively stealthiest of us, being Pax and Fef, to observe and collect information.
These
From
are your quietest members?
Yes, now we come to the part where I would like to know what the fuck went down.
Well, you know, we finished chewing. As much as I'd love to do that in character, like, that would get too annoying.
Beth literally chewing on a part of their own inner cheek before spitting it out.
Just pulling out rations, just munching. Well, we heard some things, and then we went into a place. And then some guys showed up.
Pax
And then I
is
punched
currently
them.
suffering from a bullet wound to the chest.
Oh, and Pax got shot a little bit.
Okay. Do you know who it is that you just got yourselves involved with?
Wait, the ones I punched, or the ones this guy?
Yes.
Well, I don't want to answer the first part, and I don't know the answer to the second one.
It was. I'm going to hazard a guess because of. I'm going to gesture towards Pax's current semi-sucking chest wound. That is Roshajan armament.
I'm not saying no.
Mm-hmm. Did you leave any dead?
I don't think so.
One,
It's not at least. Well,
maybe.
not on purpose. If so,
Could be worse.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that one guy's dead. But as far as I know, the other 5 to 8 are probably alive.
there are more than 8 of them. We hit a lot of guys.
We have been here for not even a fucking day!
Oh, you guys are the quick workers.
We do good work.
All right.
We do work. I don't know that I'd class that as
If
Good.
you could... All right. I think I've heard about enough. I need to know who you are.
Hello.
Point.
Hello. I am Marius. I am the leader of the Clint Independence Movement.
Okay. Haven't heard much about an actual organized independence group.
Yes,
The
we're
first time hearing
under
of
the
this.
radar for the most part at the moment.
The fuck's a
You're
radar?
keeping under the tracking spell.
I'm sorry, I had to be pedantic with that one.
No, that's fair. What the fuck's a radar? That's a good question. I don't know. Yeah, turn of phrase.
Just mentally, just because that's some kind of ancient magic or some shit.
Shut up. No, it's an anachronism. The fuck's an anachronism?
Don't worry.
What's that
about
thing
it.
where you don't like rules?
Is it? No, that's the thing where every letter in the word spells out a different word.
Oh my
I
god.
love that meme, by the way. I wish that one hadn't died.
The fuck's an anachronism? That's where you don't like rules.
Cam was ready with the follow-up.
Dude, that one was great too. The fucking both is.
So, what had happened was your friends had managed to infiltrate our meeting, and some local law enforcement may have gotten wind of the meeting, started to try and break things up. Your compatriots here decided to, well, not decided, helped fight off the incoming local law enforcement, giving my men time enough to escape into the hallways while fighting off a truly veritable horde of fighters of law enforcement. And then we escaped into the tunnels.
And you elected to come along with my friends here. There's a bit of a dripping poison in the friends.
I'm gonna be real. Had he not agreed, I was gonna threaten him anyway.
You know, that's fair. I understand. I can understand that.
Lauren's just kind of shuffling in the way of the door, by the way.
Oh goodness, it appears I'm trapped in here.
So, as I understand it, our goals kind of align here a bit. Maybe not with the pillaging part. We do pillage a bit, but not professionally.
Fef,
Hello.
can you know the thing I like to say where when you have a thought, let it go? Now would be a good time for that.
Beth is just gonna start digging through the bag for the trusty bottle of hooch.
I mean, he kind of did. He just let it go through his mouth.
Oh yes, out from his brain.
Yes.
I get what you're putting out there. Yes.
Perfect.
Fef, can I take a swig, please?
Absolutely.
Maha takes 3 solid gulps out of the flask before handing it back. Just okay. So, I would like to know, how expansive is this group of yours?
We're an up-and-coming underground movement.
Small.
Don't try and sell me bullshit pitches. I need facts.
That's half of leading a revolution is bullshit pitches. The other half is fake.
For the enemy.
There's some bullshitting of your own side just to bring up the morale.
That's just going to nod and point at the morale comment.
I understand that. Believe me, I understand the matter of morale and propaganda to try and prop yourselves up. I know that much better than you would think.
They all fit in a single warehouse and they didn't have any guards on the door.
Okay, but you could say the same about my home.
To be fair, it's far more suspicious to have guards outside the door, considering the hallways are meh.
They didn't even have a password.
Just gonna sigh and lower my head.
How long have you been planning this?
Oh, it's been in the works for a couple months now.
And this ragtag group is all you've managed to gather together so far? Or was that all that was able to be present? And don't try and bullshit.
I would say that would be a majority of our members at the moment. It's more than anything, it's hard to gather information when so many of your compatriots are when the Roshadrins have such a iron grip on the city. The Roshadrin oppressors.
As to be expected, we've seen much the same on our way here. Though there have been some few towns we've been able to actually wrest out of their grip. But we're aware that trying to do that on as grand a scale as the capital city, much less the entire nation, is much easier said than done.
Yes.
Before going too much further, Maha, perhaps I will stand guard outside in case we get unwelcome visitors. And if this man starts to bullshit again, we can show him our grip.
Make sure to get a password.
Hey. By the way, and this is looking at our good friend Marius. See, we're the quiet ones. That's the strong one.
He looks it.
Just, as a heads up.
So, in the course of trying to set up this whole movement for breaking out of the grip of the Rishadrins, have you had any contacts or approaches with anyone outside of the city? Anyone from Duvet or any other neighboring nations?
No, we're... Fuck.
Holy shit!
No! Flashbangs the room, does out a window.
Just noped himself out of
Migrating
existence.
through the fucking floor, rockets off into space.
Fucking Skyrim space program.
No clipped himself out. That's the bit we didn't hear, was him saying no clip.
No clip activate. No clip enabled. No outside influence.
Okay. And I assume with no outer influence, there's also been no outer contact for understanding what's been going on beyond the city, then.
No. No. No.
Well, I suppose if specific contacts haven't been made, I suppose it's a good time to just ask, have you, by any chance, noticed any other groups of goblins or hobgoblins like our friend here?
No. No hobgoblin. Well, I mean, no more than what you usually see in the city.
See. There was supposed to be word of there being a contingent from our friend's clan sent down here on behalf of Devere to scout things out and see how the situation lies down here in Warmrest and Clint as a whole.
Hmm.
We had been hoping to establish contact and find them, but haven't had any luck so far.
No, can't help you with that, I'm afraid.
It's a. You have to perform the perception check for me, but I'd like to be sensing motive.
Okay. You can do a blind one. Although, give me
Okay.
1 second. Apparently, Foundry is not showing up on the stream. I'm going to close it real quick and restart it. So everyone's going to have to...
Relog, ye.
There we go. Should be back up. Apologies for that.
There we go. Oh, didn't notice the Spotify was up.
Yep. You can tell that he's... My Discord with the absolute dickish comedic timing. So you could tell that he's telling the truth, but has obviously gotten a little more cagey since being effectively surrounded.
Understandable. Like, as long as he's not bullshitting us, I don't really care.
Hmm.
Cagey is expected. Cagey's kind of what I want.
So, if you've been trying to set up this whole freedom effort, what's the plan? Let's hear it.
Well, the plan is we incite the people to revolution against Roshadrin, and we fight them and we remove them from the city. It's a work in progress.
Clearly.
And then, once their governor has been disposed of, the rest of them leave.
That is exceptionally wishful thinking.
I think in progress is generous.
It's in progress, like all fine works of art. Sometimes the finer details come in at the last moment.
You've barely moved past the conceptualizing phase.
It's
If he says it's art, I swear to the gods.
No, it's hard to start a revolution in a city.
Yes. Do better.
I mean,
Oh, why didn't I think of that? Just do better. Of course.
I know how to do it. People just don't like my methods.
It's not a revolution, that's a demolition.
You leave enough of it left standing, and then there's the difference.
Please do not blow up my home.
Where do you live, specifically?
Stop.
F.
In the city, and I meant the city as a whole. Although I appreciate your
the city a whole.
F.
I shouldn't laugh.
Look, all I'm saying is if you want to cause bedlam, then you have to cause bedlam. How does one cause chaos?
We are not here to cause collateral damage.
I said chaos.
Enough.
Oh, I would prefer no explosions that
I didn't say explosions.
cause
this time.
permanent damage.
I didn't say break anything this time. I just said chaos. Y'all are the ones assuming now.
I mean, to be fair, that's generally your plan A.
Well, yeah, but that got rejected, so now we're on to plan B, which requires way more effort.
Plan B, which stands for bombs.
No, I wish, though.
What is plan A? Alcohol.
You know what? Okay, yeah, we're on to plan C. That's a good point.
Alcohol, bombs, carotid artery.
Yes. D is demolitions, obviously. E is explosions. What's F? What do you got for F?
Enough.
Fuck off.
Fuckload of explosions.
Yes!
I like this one. But no, seriously, please do not blow up my city.
No, if we don't want to cause structural damage to anything, then we have to cause other
Admittedly-
types of damage, being either trade or economic or things like that.
Admittedly, I'm not entirely sure how much explosives it would take to cause a hole in a worm skeleton.
Well,
But I'd also like to not find out.
Right. Well, I would also imagine that these things aren't mythically strong, considering that, well, you've been able to dig halls out of them.
That is true. That is true.
Of course, here I am speaking as if I'm the expert on these things. Okay. Perhaps instead of trying to talk about what you've done and accomplished, which has seemed to be disappointingly little as of yet, perhaps you can just tell us a bit about what you know, specifically what you know about the occupying force as it stands. You've said that there is an iron grip on the city. Is there any even rough estimate of how great of a force we're speaking of?
First estimations are several hundred. Probably closer to 1,000, maybe more. Probably more. And of course, while there are many, the higher ups are native Roshadrans. They have started to do recruiting drives amongst the local populace, and when you've been entrenched in a place for three and a half decades, you begin to cultivate sympathy amongst the inhabitants of the city.
Well, in that case, open warfare is clearly out of the picture, which doesn't bode well for how our first day has fared so far.
I don't know. Your friends managed to do quite a number on a contingent of them.
How many were there?
Somewhere between 6 and 10.
Okay, so we are talking roughly a single % of the occupying force. And about how much blood and flesh is missing?
Well, pointing at Pax, who has admittedly done some self-triage at this point, and then looking at Fef, who is still pretty fucking roughed up.
I mean, a 2 for 6 to 10 trade is pretty fair, in my opinion, is all I'm saying.
I'm gonna hand Fef a lesser healing potion too.
But yeah, let me check because I know I chugged one. Actually, let me check my bag. In reality, I should probably be necking those real quick.
Fair.
Also, Fef, I do believe you're... oh no, that's right. Pax did a medicine check to remove the wounded from you.
He didn't have it because he used
No.
a hero point.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. He hero point stabilized, which means he didn't get wounded.
I used medicine just to get him talking and
Yes.
conscious.
Which just if they did leave the number of lives that you said they did, this is frankly, for guards of a city this big, this might be written off as something of an acceptable loss. A bunch of peasants sent scrambling off into the shadows, meeting officially disturbed, and the guards coming away none the worse for it. Especially if they sent anywhere from effectively an entire squad of armed men after a bunch of unarmed men, and only coming away battered and bruised. This will increase security in certain areas, but I doubt it would get much worse.
Which only means that things will have gotten worse for us as a result.
When don't they?
Technically, nobody saw my face, and Fef just needs a disguise, and we're okay.
So cloak I gave you should help.
Just gonna point at the hood.
Good.
Also, maybe don't go to the warehouse district anytime soon.
Yes.
That would also be a fine idea. So, the members of your resistance, is there anyone particularly of note, any other recruiters among your ranks, or is it just whoever has been patriotic enough to try and stand up?
We're still fairly small scale at the moment. Working on increasing our numbers. We've seen good strides in recent months, recent weeks.
So is it a union of laborers, or do you have merchants, tradecraft leaders, or is it the people?
Mostly people from all walks of life. All people of sons and daughters of Kalint coming together to rise up against the Roshadran oppressors.
I look around him to look at Mahajapit. Nobody with influence.
Yes, no one with influence yet. So I have a good feeling that soon we'll get people.
Not without good reason.
We're working on it.
Yes, we are.
If you want to try and get people in on the cause, you have to first give them reason to doubt the Rashadrans.
Well,
To actually have
an entire squadron of their guards couldn't handle two simple.
It's not about their might. It's about.
I'm saying we can spin this to propaganda. Look how weak the Roshardrans are. They can't even handle two men.
In a fight, right?
Yes, in a fight. What else would it be?
Holy shit.
Don't answer that.
Get your mind out of the gutter, not in the gutter.
Nah, firmly planted.
What is a gutter?
Oh, that's right, you guys live inside of a fucking dragon.
What is a gutter?
You know, never mind.
A really good sword.
Ah. Yes, no, you would not want your mind on a sword. That would be
Clan Fefwalla education, ladies and gentlemen.
We know words sometimes.
Alabama public education.
Sometimes I forget that we accidentally a whole goblin city with some lichens.
How could I forget?
The new proud city of Alabama.
Oh!
Okay, nobody fucking with them woods, that's all I'm saying.
Werewolves of Bama.
Yes.
Werewolves of Bama. That being said, this has been fun and all. I'm going to go home.
So about that. But not in the way you might think. Somebody should probably go look at your home before you go there.
Respectfully, I don't think I want.
So find some of your own people to do it. My point is you weren't wearing a mask during that raid. They probably could figure out who you are and where you live. You didn't even have a password. Come on now.
Point taken. That being said, yes. Point taken. I will reconnoiter with some of my men, and we shall
Establish some method of security to
yes.
things. Let it be known, we have no intention of holding you hostage. That is not what we're here for.
As he looks at Lorenz, who is in front of the door.
You can leave when we say you can leave. But
See
you
that?
will leave.
Okay.
As we have said, our goals are one and the same. We do want to see Kalint freed. However, especially with as things have gone tonight, we must proceed carefully from here on out. I want you to try your best to get your men together in whatever secure way you're able to try and prevent further mishaps with this. And keep in touch. We're going to
Yes,
need to work
indeed.
together for this. This is not going to be an easy task, but we are going to see it through one way or another.
Agreed. It will be a fight of our lives. And some of us may die. That's a sacrifice that I am willing to make.
We go together.
Ragers together. Strong.
No, but like, for real, one of my friends almost died tonight. If anything happens to us, your odds are not good.
Noted.
Now, I don't suppose you have any knowledge on any other such groups besides your own that have been trying to.
So
work
we
towards
are,
this end.
to my knowledge, the sole resistance group.
Just a moment here.
We are the hope of the free peoples of Kalint, of Warmrest, and of the world.
Have other groups like yours tried to form before yours during the occupation?
Likely, before my time, though.
Hmm. Well, perhaps we have been thinking on a bit too grand of a scale. Our mission in coming down here was in part to aid on in the matter of freeing Kalint, yes, but accomplishing that ourselves is, let's be honest, a bit beyond our likely means. However, we're not come simply at our own behest. Our goal in being sent forward is to give significant enough destabilization to allow the armies of Duver to come in and reclaim things.
Mhm.
So, we need not fight to win and end the war as a whole. If we can keep our efforts focused enough of a matter to display and show a sign of weakness on the part of the Rishadrans, something that could be tangibly seen and known by the Devarians, that may be enough to signal them that the time is ready.
Quite, yes.
If you have or are able to come up with any plans on any specific means that may be most approachable for that purpose, it may be best to redouble your efforts solely on that avenue.
Yes, if
Ensuring
I
its success.
come up with anything, I'll be well, I certainly know where to find you.
Well, for now, though, if there is anyone that does come knocking for us, we may have to find you instead. We may have to be a bit more elusive ourselves, depending on if the Rishadrans get too nosy after what happened today.
Understandable. We'll figure something out, I'm sure. If it comes to that.
Well, Lorenz, you see any further reason to hold our friend here?
Nope. I'll move and I'll step out of the way of the door and actually open it for him.
Well, wonderful. I'll be in touch. Turns to quickly leave the room.
Do be careful.
Of course.
Close the door. I don't think he's going to help us.
Yeah, I didn't really get a chance to mention this, but his speech in the warehouse that he was giving for morale, they don't like anybody.
That's okay.
They did refer to it as an independence movement, and I'm actually going to give a nod to Fef. Just kind of melding on that idea.
Yeah, we didn't come here to help a revolution. We came here to cause problems.
Destabilize central government. Having a group of revolutionaries to tack the name of that on is helpful. Cause chaos. Let the Devarian Empire sweep in and do as they do.
That would also make them look even worse because there would then be the oppressors even harder than they already are.
It's true. They did refer to it as the Kalint Independence Movement, did they not?
They did. We just they are into raiding, but not our problem? Question marks.
That's very significantly my problem, actually. My family lives on the biggest trade river running through the continent.
Okay, so maybe get a message home.
Well, it doesn't matter right now. They're not the ones in charge. What I'm saying is they shouldn't be the ones in charge.
Yeah, I do worry about that though.
I do fear that Lorenz is right.
They make convenient patsies at the very least. This is useful.
Indeed they are. It's not something I take any matter of pride in, but
I mean, look,
as much as we've seen the horrors across the nation of what Rashadran has done to, in their eyes, replace one set of shackles with another is not going to be looked at very well.
we're also looking at this maybe not wrong, but sideways. Uh, there are not a lot of us, so anything we do has to be focused. But also, big fuck off dragons. Please don't forget them. We came
Never
here to
do.
look for info, I think, right?
Yes, we did. You're not wrong. Nobody has forgotten.
I mean, I kind of forgot until now.
Fair enough. Yes, that is our primary goal here. The secondary goal was to destabilize the occupying government enough to allow the Duverian Empire in. Which, frankly, at that point, it is a toss-up between Duver and Kalint, and frankly, that is not our fucking problem.
Well, not most of your problem, at least. Matters being as I have for getting myself dragged back into working with the Imperial family, it may well be mine. And if I'm seen as someone who helped stage the revolution only to then turn against the revolutionaries, well, let's just say that's not an image that I'm quite too fond of putting upon myself or anyone.
It's going to require a lot of discretion, a lot of movement and shadow.
Not exactly the typical modus operandi for a diplomat, is it?
No, but shadows can only be formed by things blocking the light. Usually by somebody standing in the way. Anyway, there's enough of this. I say if any of his men or any of our Shadrins come to his door, maybe we find that man's house. Just a small suggestion.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Which Aslan, you see him head out the front door. Just good evening.
So, I assume that we're going to be going back onto watches again, then.
Yeah.
Well, I had been close to getting some shut-eye, but upon hearing all of this, I feel like I'm probably not going to be able to get a damn bit of sleep, and, well, Pax and Fef could use the rest.
When you finally do decide to sleep, let me know. I'll take next.
All right.
Just gonna break off.
Well, then before get to the next day, is there anything anyone would like to do throughout the night?
I'm good.
Okay.
I think I'm set.
Gonna sleep off my
Same.
bullet wound.
Yep. Pax and Theft, don't forget to apply natural healing.
There's a button for that now.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
It's a little fucking bed icon right next to your.
Oh, that's what that is.
Oh, okay.
It's a rest for the night button. Yep.
Holy
I kind of wish
shit.
it wasn't. I kind of wish it wasn't next to Doomed.
I mean, whenever I'm
Get the
feeling
big
doomed, I
sleep.
sleep.
Get the big sleep.
Great. Go in the forever box, also known as your bed.
Big mood.
Then, about roughly, all told, 8 hours later, the weather has not changed, nor has the
Still skeleton.
daylights. Yeah, you are still inside the jaws of a worm. That being said, it is. You wake up and you feel well rusted. Beth, Pax, you definitely don't feel as rough as you were expecting yourself to. And Feth, you feel sore when you wake up the next morning.
Yeah.
Like you did a little too much exercise yesterday. As opposed to you almost died.
A little hard to pick things up for the day.
Yeah. Oh, it even restores your fucking spell slots and focus points.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, sick.
Sweet bro and hella rad.
Nice.
Yeah, so you guys head downstairs. Breakfast is being served. Dan, by the way, welcome to the next best thing map that I made. I didn't have to make a map for the tavern, but I felt like being extra. So, because you're not camping, you're staying at a tavern.
Yay.
I gotta ask.
Uh huh.
Did you make a tavern for the fancier part of town just called the best thing?
Well, you did now.
Write that down. Write that down.
Ready, Sting.
Yeah, real quick. I gotta hit the bathroom.
Yep, that's fair. I am gonna get myself another drink. So, here, Beck. Hell, probably a 5-minute break, I would say.
Sure.
Yeah, sounds good. I got a bio as well, so. Quick impromptu breakup!
Yeah, we'll be back momentarily.
Okay.
Hey, Dan.
Yeah,
Question.
go ahead.
Does Glinthatook have to be actively paying attention to hear conversations happening outside, or is it like anything you hear, he hears as well?
Let me actually see exactly how all that works. Let's see. I feel like there's something that's mentioned about this before.
just in case the break ends before I can speak again, rendering myself unable to speak for the next few minutes.
Gotcha. Okay, so it doesn't look like it's necessarily automatic. It just says that I can communicate with it telepathically at all times, even when it isn't manifested.
Okay, so I
But
should not consider him an active conversation participant unless you poke him.
basically, yeah.
Okay. I figured, but I wanted to check.
Right. Now, there is an action that I can take of share senses, of essentially using my senses through him or allowing him to project his senses through me. But doing that deprives me of my senses then. So, right? No, it wouldn't. It would just hold on. Let me see. Up to a minute. Dismiss. Train magic, tradition.
Pathfinder doesn't know what the word share means.
I would guess that since it says that it would be an action that the Eidolon would have to take in order to then use my senses, I don't think that he can technically take actions if I don't have him manifested. So, yeah, the only sort of senses that he really gets when I don't have him summoned is just if I telepathically communicate with him.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. I have returned.
Welcome back.
Welcome
Sorry for the delay.
back.
Excuse me. So, you guys were are gathering around the breakfast table, or rather, in this case, just the table. Uh, everything is as normal, at least as normal as it can be, considering.
Right.
Uh,
I guess I while we're about in the tavern, as it were, are things still like decently busy in here, or is this one like a less crowded tavern, or how are things this morning?
you get the feeling that it's fairly early in the morning, and as a result, it is people who are staying here are spending time here in the morning, but a lot of people are going and basically just trying to sorry, making their way towards their what they've got planned for the day.
Right.
Um,
Okay. I
it,
was just trying to get an
it's
idea of
not
like
a
how busy things were, because I was
right.
wanting to essentially just try and see about like keeping an ear out and see if there's any you know gossip going on about whatever happened last night.
Right.
Wink,
It's
wink.
not a big breakfast spot, you gather.
Right. Okay.
The food, however, quite nice. You get the sense that people are not doing themselves doing themselves a disservice by not heading down to the next best thing for breakfast. But admittedly, that is going to an inn for breakfast. So
Right.
why go to an inn when you have a home?
Right. Well, seeing as things were so thoroughly exciting last night, how do we move forward now?
That is the question.
Go to a different part of the city?
I mean, it may not necessarily be a bad idea, but where to? I frankly don't know. Well, I was going to say no heads from tails with this city, though that's a little bit obvious here.
It is a quite literal where the head and the tail are, in fact.
Hmm. Now, I'm trying to actually recall with Lorenz, you said that you were looking for like some kind of coded message at the Adventurers Guild.
Yeah, just something, anything that seemed out of place or perhaps too intentionally worded. Even just thieves and scoundrels tend to leave code for one another in certain things.
Right, right.
What looks like a shipment dossier may be a message of places to avoid or places to rob. I was looking for something similar.
See.
To no avail, mind.
Right, right. Um, I believe we had also discussed a possibility of with the with our friends' family being the sort that they are, if they potentially do visit or frequent the Adventurers Guild, the possibility of leaving a message for them instead, or the contract for, or supposed contract for some type of job that
Yeah,
would likely grab their attention.
yes, it was discussed, but I didn't want to make a move on that without your approval on what sort of thing would be written and left.
Right.
You are the better worded of us, for most certain, and the most subtly worded at that.
It's worth mentioning that the board was fairly sparse and everything was written in common. So anything we put up has to be subtle.
Yes, 'cause it's
And-
going to be fairly thoroughly examined.
Well,
Yeah, most of us aren't good at that.
board might be less barren after last night.
That's a good point too.
That. That is a fair point. Do you suppose we should take a look at that for ourselves to see? More specifically, those of us that such a post would not be likely to be about, eyes darting between Pax and Fef.
Not a bad idea.
I'll
So,
say it again. Nobody knows who was there on my part. I had a mask on.
I understand this, but I'd
Oh no, I
rather
agree with you. It's just I'm not going to stay cooped up in this inn for days at a time. A day is totally fine.
I do not expect to, again, holding hostages is not something that we are trying to do here.
it's a good point, though. Yeah. Stay in for security for the day. We know where to get you if we need you, but we'll just make sure that the heat is low before bringing you both back out into the street. Starting with the Adventurers Guild and seeing what we hear.
Right. Possibly just trying to keep an ear out for any gossip around the town, see if word of the events of last night have spread by any means. Something we might be able to use to our advantage even, but I feel that scrounging the alleys for gossip would probably be something a little bit more to your speed, Lorenz.
I can do. This also does play to either a trial or a benefit of ours. See, people we were here to meet up with have, if they have heard of what happened last night, say, no, we are here now, likely as not. And that makes us easier to find, but it also might make them not want to come to meet us depending on their own situation.
This is true. Well, I suppose there's only one way to really find out now, is there?
Sorry, I just heard the fucking Witcher music kick in, and I'm just like, that one fucking cat meme of just vibing cat.
Cat jam.
Yep. But yes.
While we're having this discussion, by the way, I'm so, because Pax, you just wear leather armor, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm fixing up the entry and exit holes in Pax's armor.
Okay, give me a crafting check.
Okay.
That one makes it worse. Fuck.
No. He passes the crafting check. 4 days later, my armor is finished. 2 holes.
Crafting.
Yeah.
Well, that's if you're doing, like, making an item from scratch. Repairs.
Yeah. All right.
The repair action only takes like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, if anybody knows mending.
That's
I
true. No,
don't-
yeah, you're able to fairly easily patch that shit up.
But yeah, we should probably at least make sure we're not wearing the clothes that we bled all over, and there are no obvious matching wounds.
Joke's on you, bitch. I cast prestidigitation on your clothes.
Oh yes, I can continue not to change my clothes.
That's the
Honestly,
most Beth fucking thing.
It's at this point it's a Lorenz thing. Just every couple days or so, just cast prestidigitation on Fef, just to like, for the sake of the group.
to unblack him for a little
Yeah,
bit.
exactly.
Perfect.
No, that's definitely like a thing I'd be doing this morning, is like cleaning up the blood stains, fixing up the armor, making it look like that shit didn't happen to y'all.
Also, now just with speaking clothes, I'm trying to remember whatever happened with that dress that Fef got for himself.
I was literally just thinking about that. No joke. I was trying to remember if that was this campaign or the other one where I had the dress.
That's this one.
Yeah,
You own the dress.
because it was when Lorenz was going to get a nice dress and soaps and stuff for his mother. It's just like, you buying one too? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Pax came along to help, and it was Pax's idea to get the worst soap ever invented. And then Fef was like, I also want a dress. And so Fef also came. So the
Oh,
three
God,
shadiest
yeah.
looking motherfuckers went to like Bath and Body Works.
Yeah,
Oh God.
Bed Bath and Magic.
A bunch of
Also-
fucking Arsenal hooligans went to go buy Mom a fucking few gifts, yeah.
Down to the Tesca.
Like, the sketchy fuckers going to buy gifts for Mama. That doesn't sound like an organized crime ring.
No, what?
We're gonna get her a caravan next.
Yes.
Periwinkle Blue.
Yep.
And just like that, Cam and Dave became best friends.
Oh, hey, speaking of semi-related movies and friends, I'm calling you and a certain other friend out live real quick for making me think In Bruges was going to be a fun, happy time.
Okay, are we still mad about this?
No, it's a good movie. Everybody should watch it. Just they lied to me. Anyway.
And it's like the time where my friend Brandon had just finished Fate Zero and was feeling really down. So I told him, as a good palate cleanser anime, that he should watch Madoka Magica.
Oh, no.
Oh,
I mean, you could have said Grave of the Fireflies, so you know,
Oh.
Why?
than ever.
why would you do that, Cam?
It's like, no, dude.
I would have recommended Clannad, especially Clannad After Story.
I was like, yeah, no, dude, don't worry. It's a really fun, go happy magical girl anime. It's a really good palate cleanser after the heavy stuff of Fate Zero. You'll love it.
What was the name of the one, Dave, where it was the start of the last episode of the fan sub
Oh,
has
yeah.
the great big title card that says, if you were wanting a happy ending, close this episode.
That was actually going to be the one I was going to suggest, and it would be Saitano.
That's it. Thank you.
She, the Ultimate Weapon. Great series. Everybody should watch it. Not good happy time. There are kittens though, and they don't die.
That's true.
I like just the transition on his face of just like, there are kittens though. Well, they don't die.
On screen.
Yeah, on screen. No, that's true. Anyway, sorry.
Oh God.
But yes, fixing these two up, unbloodying,
Mhm.
unbloodying and repairing and all that good shit while we make our plan for the day.
Right. Oh, that's weird. I don't have any dice rolling
Huh.
coming
Huh.
from into my ear.
Interesting.
Yes, quite. Why?
So let's see. Okay, my dice settings. Yeah. Okay, my dice definitely look very, very different. They're actually like, okay, they do have the same base color, but there's like a fucking like luminescent sheen to them now.
Oh.
Like the weird iridescence on them.
Mhm.
Oh, I see why. It ended up going to
Oh yeah, there were some updates to several modules. So like,
the stained glass version has that effect. And I quite like that now. Yeah. I'm gonna keep that.
Yeah. Nope. I'll worry about it later.
The stained glass definitely does give a okay. All right, that one's tempting. It's not quite as like flashy, but just to give an idea with a roll real quick.
Oh, that looks cool as fuck.
Dragon
Yeah.
scales.
Also, I'm sorry to interrupt y'all, but the universe has smiled upon me. I just opened up a 6-pack of Mambas, and they're all pink.
You bitch.
That's a sentence.
Right.
They're fruit snacks.
Okay.
Like Now and Later's or Starburst, and pink is generally my favorite flavor of any of those. So I just opened a small pack, and every single one of them was pink.
Nice. Excellent. So, what will you guys be doing for the day?
I do think going back to the Adventurous Guild to see if like
Any
that'll be
notices or potential bounties or anything
yeah.
after last night's events.
Okay.
Or if it is
See how
going
much
to just
heat
kind of,
was
like,
drummed
brush
up.
under the see if it's something they just brush under the rug as just some kind of freak incident, or if they're actually going to try and pursue it to squash out anything.
Sure.
Also, while we're going there, just kind of keeping an eye on the business in the streets, not listening in for information or anything like that. That's going to be a follow up to what we do at the Adventurers Guild. But just you can tell when the atmosphere in a place is kind of drummed up some tension.
Right. Yeah.
I do have a question.
What's up?
This city is huge, right?
Yes.
Is there more than one Adventurers Guild? Is that something we'd even be thinking of?
You're not sure.
Okay.
Because I know that the ones that we were told about and just the stuff that was mentioned was from our ship captain, whose name escapes me, when they brought us in, mentioned that there was the
Oh yes, John, the fisherman.
I wish I hadn't fucking remembered that.
He scares me.
Yeah. I
It's
think
better than
most of
Jerry
their
the
stuff
boatman.
was poor Jerry. Hard
I
life.
liked Jerry.
Yeah.
I am glad. I hope you all enjoyed me too. I enjoyed your company as well.
See the implications behind that happening.
the voice of Jerry suddenly filtering into your heads like it's fucking Father Fef.
Oh God. Oh no. Implications.
Nah. Ugh.
Fucking green text implying.
Jerry would be a character that just speaks in green text. That feel when Boatman was severe brain damage.
Stop. Please cease.
Understandable. So yeah, you guys begin to filter out of the tavern. It's still fairly early. People are definitely like heading. There are two distinct directions of traffic. There's one that is heading downhill towards the docks, and then there's another that is heading uphill into the city proper.
Right. Now remind me, with the Adventurers Guild, is its entrance like I'm trying to remember. Was that the one that was like inside of the jaws, like the hallway
Yes,
went up
it
and then
was
dug out?
mid-jaw. Yeah.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, it was eastern mid-jaw.
Yeah, it was kind of corner clubby.
Yes.
Right.
The Dark Elves of Morrowind would be very proud. Yeah, how's street traffic looking as we wind on our way through? Do patrols seem to have intensified, or
Yeah, like any increased guard presence, or is it still about?
There's definitely some more guards. It seems like there's a few more on street corners. Well, street corners. since you're in the lower jaws, dirt path corners.
Yeah.
It seems like there's a few extra patrols here and there from what you saw yesterday. Admittedly, you only have the one day of reference. It definitely looks like there's an increased presence. And as you get closer to the, kind of the nexus where, the main intersection of the city, you can hear, you read all about it. Tax prices going up. A news crier, effectively.
Okay.
Which, standing on like 3 different boxes, trying to be seen above the crowd. It's a gnome. He's very short, so he's just like, extra. Read all about it. Bad weather outside the city doesn't affect us.
This just in, living in a dead dragon, still bitchin'.
Still pretty fucking red.
This is why we need Fef to be a journalist.
Oh, God, no.
Those maybe have been the most cursed words to ever exit my mouth.
No, Seth would be a fucking BuzzFeed writer, and he'd talk about the 15 different types of mushrooms he's shoved up his ass.
I mean, honestly, though, that's canon.
Number 7 will surprise you.
It surprised Fev.
Number 7 will surprise you. Number 7, just a penis. It's not so much a mushroom, but mushroom-shaped.
Just a straight up dong.
Number 2 is a myconid.
Oh, no.
Oh my god.
Cursed.
What's more cursed? That a myconid's on the list or that it's not number 1?
Both of them.
Number 1, dragon.
That's not even a mushroom.
It's
Don't act
not.
like there ain't a mushroom dragon.
Fef got really high halfway through the article and kind of forgot what it was about, so he just started writing fan fiction about a dragon.
On account of the mushrooms.
Yes.
I hate this. I hate this so much. I just want to hear what the news crier has to say. I'm literally out here trying to watch Channel 7. Y'all out here talking about butt mushrooms.
Lorraine's out here trying to watch C-SPAN.
Hold on.
Y'all.
Oh fuck.
Can that be the title when you upload the VOD, for the love of fuck, please?
Hold on. That needs to go as a onto Twitter.
Oh, out of context, Pathfinder.
I'm sitting here trying to watch Channel 7. He's talking about butt mushrooms.
Yep. I'm out here trying to watch Channel 7. Y'all.
Trying to see if my friends are on the next episode of fucking Cops.
You know, I've been on the news for quite a few times. None of them, surprisingly, were negative.
How you can tell things have officially gone off the fucking rails.
There were rails?
Nah, man.
No, I don't do games with rails.
Rails were item number 14.
What the fuck? Also, hilarious. Sorry, someone just retweeted onto my timeline. Eldon Cockring works.
Yeah, alright.
Stop. I just want to know. Man.
I wish it was me, but it wasn't.
The cock ring and the butt plug vibrate whenever there's... you can put the rest together in your own head. Extra! Oh, God. Dissidents captured and slain in the warehouse district last night. City saved once again by Roshadrin forces. Keeping our city safe. There are, by the way,
Right.
like no less than 5 guards within earshot. So like, make of that what you will.
Right. Just
That's a hell of a thing.
oh.
Extra, read all about it. Discount at margin, big margins, tent in the lower spine bazaar.
We'll have to share the news with our friends when we get back.
Indeed.
On to the guild then, yes?
Yeah, this is good.
Zindroth and Aslan, by the way, I'm assuming you guys are going with them, with Maha and Lorenz, or you guys want to do something else?
Yep. Aslan will stick with them because she's also looking for
Makes sense.
information.
Sure. Then Dustin said BRB like an hour ago, and I'm not sure if he ever came back.
I'm not sure about that either.
Dustin, are you dead?
How are you gonna ask him?
Don't say anything if you're still alive.
Oh, see?
See?
Perfect.
Can't wake up dead. He's not David Blaine.
David Blaine just wakes up irrelevant.
Not wrong.
Literally who?
Well, like Chris Angel, but able to headline.
Rude. Not wrong, but rude. All right. Well, I guess Dustin is dead. So yeah, if you three are heading on up and away into the Midjaw region, retracing your steps back to the Adventurers Guild. Um, and as you guys get there, again, the foot traffic kind of getting a little less sparse as you leave the main,
Thoroughfare?
yeah, as you leave the main staircase that goes up into higher levels, and you kind of basically get off on your floor, as it were. You know, there's still people kind of going to various different businesses in this area, but for the most part, it's still fairly there's more room at least. And as you arrive, the hall is kind of widening out as you get to this bigger thoroughfare. And you arrive at the Adventurers Guild, and there are, even this early in the day, people getting drunk.
When you're putting your life on the line to make your living, you do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Admittedly, it is a lot less, or it's a lot more sparse, I should say, than when you came in yesterday. Mostly because you came in yesterday kind of later afternoon. So you get the
Right.
sense that that may or may not be because of time difference. You're just not sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. How is the notice or contract board looking?
It is still fairly sparse, like yesterday. From what you can tell, there's no real new jobs. Which I just remembered you weren't here last session. A lot of it is for what it is there is mostly for jobs that are outside of the city.
Okay.
Okay. And there's no. Okay, so I know what the crier said, but as we've gone on, there's no like wanted posters slapped on the sides of the walls, like in the hallways as we've navigated Warmrest.
No.
I figured not. I guess again, bit based entirely on what that crier said, but
Right.
Right.
No wanted posters, no nothing like that. But there are you do see a few more guards posted at various different interchanges and intersections.
yeah, understandable. And did that crier said that the dissidents were all killed to the man at that bust effectively?
That is what you gathered.
I believe all that was really said in his drawing was dissidents captured and executed.
Yes.
Okay, so
Not the most inspiring of things.
No, but they speak with a mouth and act with a hand that does not coincide.
True enough.
Something to be said for image and action.
Duplicity is a very effective tool.
It is true.
Well, doesn't seem that there's too much worth the while here on the board. Perhaps we should just take a stroll through the town.
Not a bad idea. Get a feel for
Excellent.
the people, especially after. Well, we know the news is public now.
That it is. See how the folks are taking it, or if there's any other takes or rumors on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess do we want to do a I guess I believe there's a gather information activity.
Yes.
yes, there is.
Yes, there.
I believe.
Yes. Action, where you canvass local markets, taverns, and other gathering places and attempt to learn about a specific individual or topic.
Yes, and then so for that, I'm going to use my streetwise because I can use society instead of diplomacy for that role.
Right.
And I also have discrete inquiry.
Okay. And what are
Which
you
is,
guys specifically looking for?
Trying to so the story is out in public now. Trying to get a general canvas of how the people are reacting to the news, that there were even dissidents, and how the Rashadrons handled it. How much believe that? Basically, just how are people receiving the news?
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Whether it's being taken at face value, or if there are conspiracy theorists out there, or how it's being handled.
Yeah, if it's one of those, yeah, right. They captured those guys. Fucking
Right.
Rashadrons couldn't capture a goddamn water in a glass. Like, kind of type
Right.
deal.
Okay. Then Lorenz, Hajapit, and Aslan. Give me gather information check.
Okay.
For our own specific
Yes.
topics, or okay.
Right.
Guessing mine would probably be Arcana then,
Right.
as Aslan's looking for information about the Rune Giants and the Rune Stones and things like that.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, for gathering information, GM determines DC of the diplomacy check and the amount of time it takes, along with any benefit you might be able to gain spending coin on bribes, drinks, or gifts. I don't think I'm going to be doing any of that. Not again, just general
Right.
faffery to
Canvassing.
try and get. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess that is a diplomacy skill action.
Yeah.
No, I suck at diplomacy.
I don't get to hear the clicky clacks and it makes me sad.
God damn. I mean, you are a diplomat. I understand. But
Right.
God damn.
Also, again, just as a gonna put it here as a reminder of what my discrete inquiry is.
Yes.
Just being subtle about it to where just hiding, effectively being able to ask without really giving away why I'm asking. Anyone trying to figure out if I am, it's harder because they have to go off of my deception DC instead of the usual DC.
Right.
Oh God. As we start, canvassing and questioning, if Lorenz does have to talk to people, Aslan and Maha are treated to the absolute delight of the only accent Lorenz can do to mask his original accent, which is truly miserable Southern affectation.
All right.
Oh my god!
That's fucking beautiful.
Holy fuck.
It's the only accent he really knows to cover up his natural speaking accent.
God. Hold on. I need to get a fucking
On the kind of, it removes a lot of the and just uses words like a and has about.
fucking. Which region would that accent be typical of?
Shut the fuck up. You don't know. You assume it's some kind of street dialect from the Devarian capital city. Likely used in the slums. But you're unsure. You've never heard it before.
It's like,
What region is that accent from? Fuck you! I don't fucking know!
just like, I have been to near every nation on this great wide continent for talks, and where the fuck are you from?
Whorehouse.
My immediate reaction was almost to say 45th and Broadway. Like,
Where's that accent from? Regional dialect.
regional dialect.
Because I'm just trying to look over, just like, as far as the names of all of the different nations and regions, if there's anything that sounds like it could have come from a southerner.
Nope.
You know, the Tiefwald. I'm sorry, the Tiefwald.
Asia.
TEEF.
Now I need y'all to know I come from a place reigned over by a group of men known as the Hasir Princes. Now,
You're still pronouncing it too strongly. It'd be Hayseer.
you're right. You're not wrong.
The Hacer Princes.
The Hasir Princes. You're right. My apologies. I've only been in Missouri for a year now. I'm still learning. Please, like, bear with me.
No. If anyone asks where it's from, you're from Alabama.
Yeah, exactly. That is 100% the excuse I'm going to give to.
Alabama. Where? Don't worry about it.
It's just a place out in the woods. Y'all don't need to worry about it.
The fuck is that hillbilly over there?
Exactly. He's Billy from the Hills.
But getting back on topic, as Maha and maybe Aslan have their brains absolutely destroyed by whatever the fuck accent Lorenz is pulling out. Aslan, you don't have much luck finding much out about Rune Giants. What you do find is really just like more directed to find more kind of like specialized maybe arcana shops or some such that, or even library stuff like that. Doesn't seem like the average layman really knows much about the Rune Giants. Now Lorenz and Mahajapit. Fucking Christ, Mahajapit.
He's a diplomat. This is literally what he does.
It's true. So you guys are, especially together, able to fairly quickly put together a pattern of the lower down in the lower parts of the city. It seems like a lot of people are kind of like, yeah, but did they really though? Did they really though?
Oh, okay.
Meanwhile, the higher up in the city, as far as you guys are allowed to go, because as you get high enough in the city, you are turned away by guards. Seems to be, it's good to know that our city is being kept safe and secure. We'll also note that the higher you go, the nicer people seem to dress, the nicer the shops seem to get, that kind of stuff.
Literal high society.
But okay, so it is literally like the more upper crust we get is when the story starts to differ.
Yes.
It is like noticeable in that regard.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. But yeah, I feel like after like the first little bit of like conversation and gossip and hearing Lorenz, just as we turn away from that, Ma's just gonna kind of like look up and just like, the hell did you pick that up?
The streets.
The street of where? What?
To where? It's the only thing I can do to cover up my natural accent.
I mean, it does a damn fine job, but what? People talk like that?
No.
I'm sorry, but that just broke.
Not anywhere I've ever been. I had somebody call it well-traveled once, and I still don't really take their meaning.
I feel like that's not a compliment.
I don't think so either. Still, though, this is interesting what we have discovered here. There is a certain level of acceptance the higher in society one goes. This
A healthy level of doubt in the more downtrodden parts of the city, as it were.
Yeah, it seems that the occupation is more of an occupation here in the lower areas, and a increase in security in the higher areas.
Which would certainly seem to make trying to destabilize the influences a bit more difficult, given
Yeah,
the level of acceptance.
you keep an occupied city happy by keeping its power base happy. Everyone else is grist towards the mill, as it were. But unfortunately for them, the grist generally outnumbers the power base.
But they do. It's just a matter of what's the tipping point.
Yeah. So Aslan has a good point too. We are here for dual purpose. This should not occupy the whole of our research here.
Indeed.
I have a dumb idea. It's not really that dumb, actually. So Duver has a magical academy.
Yes.
There's a whole ass college for it.
Yes.
Is there anything even semi-similar, like a repository of information, like a library, a grander library of sorts, or something along those lines here in Wormrest?
Oh, that is a good question. Glad you asked.
I feel like that might be something we might also need another gather information for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, gather information.
Okay.
Yep.
That was so close to a nat 20.
It was.
Jesus Christ, Kim.
Oh, no. Motherfucker.
Tallahassee.
Tallahassee. Yeah. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Are you though?
No. No, you discover that the So the general vibe you get is, while there is a kind of there is a library here. It is in the upper Jaws area, on the eastern upper Jaws. But the actual Clint Magic Academy is actually in a city called, or larger town called Crystalwind, or that would be how the Devarians say it, Crystalwind.
Okay.
Okay, so that is actually not one of the places that we were at before, but that was where I thought that it was that you were mentioning before,
Mm-hmm.
when we were first setting off. But it was Christervind in like near the actual
In the actual
shoreline in not in Rashadran itself. I
in
don't think,
Devere,
but yeah,
in the southern tip, the southern port city in Devere. Yes, which is Christovind, which is different from Crystal Wind.
right.
Right. Okay. So that it is in a different location entirely, but there is a library in.
Right, there is a general purpose library in Warmrest. However, there is a proper Clint Magical Academy in Crystalwind.
Okay, that's fine though. A library alone is probably a good start, depending on time of day.
That is another 2 hours.
What time of day is it now? Is what I'm asking. Also,
It's hard to tell, considering there is no sun here.
true. I guess based on general people activity.
You gather it's a little after midday.
Right. Like, are people breaking for meal, or are they coming back from? You know what I mean?
Right. No, you gather it's probably close to midday.
Okay. I would not mind paying this library a visit.
Sure. Some light reading. Maybe find something to borrow for a time.
Right. In the last 4 hours, Pax, Fef, what are you two up to?
Oh no.
You've been left alone in the next best thing by your party, with no parental supervision.
I am an adult.
You, yes. Fef.
See, my issue is I've wanted to go out and cause mischief this whole time, but since we haven't seen many other hobgoblins, even Fef isn't dumb enough to just rush out and do shit right now. Especially because I didn't have a mask on while I was jumping on people's shields and punching them in the face.
Fef pulls on a balaclava, starts throws a Molotov cocktail across the street.
I mean, let's go. But no, honestly, I assumed we would just be hanging out most of the time.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not technically downtime, so it's not like I can start any of my retraining stuff.
Right.
Can't do earn income because we're stuck in the tavern and trying to keep a semi-low profile.
Right. Y'all are playing Uno, but with the 0 and 7 rule activated?
No,
Oh,
fuck
God.
you.
Using the musket balls
Call
to play
the
marbles.
guards back. I want to go to prison instead.
Oh, God.
Help. Police.
They're trying to make me play Uno.
Uno. All right, 7. Switch hands. Fuck.
I hate this game so much.
Yeah, I don't think there's really much we can do.
That's fair. Uno. What's an
Take this
Uno?
opportunity to relax.
Okay.
Right, like, Pax got shot, and I blew myself up in 2 different varieties yesterday.
Okay. Yeah. Everything is calm and peaceful, from what you can tell. Here in the next best thing. Back to the away team. What are you?
We were trying to find the library, wasn't
That's
it?
right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and after a bit more of exploration, getting a little lost, you do eventually find your way around the city to the correct Upper Jaws area, and you will kind of come across down, kind of down a hallway, and a doorway kind of opens up to a larger room. It's an odd shape, kind of keeping in with the shape of the skull, of course. So there's just walls that curve weirdly. But at the same time, there are also just doorways that lead out onto effectively carved balconies that overlook the entire inner jaw area of the city, with sitting benches out there and whatnot. What it looks like as you kind of step inside and look around, it looks like it's effectively several rooms that have been merged through carving out doorways between these various rooms. And then kind of almost has a converted feel to it. And as you step in, there's a blonde, half-elven woman. Just, hello, welcome to the Warmrest Library. I don't believe I've seen your faces. You have library cards.
We do not. We are actually just visiting in town, as it were. But
Will you be wanting to print books out, or will you be keeping them here?
I believe for now we'll probably just be leaving the books here. But if there is anything that catches our eye and we wish to take it out, we will be sure to let you know.
Excellent. If you would like to rent books and take them with you, you will need a card for it. However, that being said, please welcome, and if you need any help, don't hesitate to ask. She kind
Very
of
well.
adjusts glasses.
Thank you very much. So just looking around, are any of the sections of like shelves or anything, are they like visibly labeled, or is it kind of just all sort of put together?
Yeah, they're fairly labeled. It's there is of course different sections. It's fiction and nonfiction, as well as subjects of history and arcana, and
Do Veridecimal system.
yes, the Duveria decimal system.
I'm good. I got this, guys.
No, it's really just kind of like a. It's not very well organized within those sections, but they are kind of organized by subject.
Okay.
Because unfortunately, no one has invented a decimal system yet.
Right. Yeah. I'm personally thinking for myself to try and look over any of the history section to start.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Histories, local histories of anything. Literally just Control F keyword Rune Giants or Giants in general. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right.
Okay. Give
Just
me a third gather information check. This time, less society and more. Oh god. It would be. Let me.
Arcana or religion, almost probably.
Arcana, or if you have a relevant lore skill.
I do not. So Arcana.
Ooh.
Ooh!
Oh! Oh! Legendary!
Oh Jesus H.
Lorenz finds a Rune Giant in the library.
Yeah, Lorenz opens up a book, Rune Giant pops out. Bitch! Pulls it into the book.
Oh god, I found the painted world.
I was gonna say we're going Page Master up in here.
Either way, honestly, it's not going to be a good time for me.
I mean, it's still a library, so chances are he's got it just as likely to pull out like a giant rune instead.
No, just a very odd looking dog appears. It says, "Hey, follow me," and jumps into the book.
No,
Gonna learn you about some history.
Hell yeah! What's the
What that-
story, Wishbone?
what that dog doing though?
The dog's about to be a Yankee in King Arthur's court. I'm fucking here for it.
Dog with a bookmark.
Bookmark dog. I got you.
Bjork.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Bjork. Because they're in Kalint, you see. No.
Mark Bjork. Boof.
Bjork. Fuck, I keep getting myself with my own stupid fucking joke. Holy shit. Oh,
Boof.
Aslan and Mahajapit, you guys find some, or you guys finally start to track down this first real, hints that you've really had for this of, the Rune Giants, as the books you see, Rune Giants being the first inhabitants of Kalint. And, effectively as the stories go, when the smaller races came to Kalint and tried to settle in Kalint, and the giants at the time being only Rune Giant, kind of welcomed them, sort of a symbiotic relationship in a way of, we'll teach you how to live here, and you effectively kind of help us run things that need a more delicate touch of, oh god, my keyboard, it keeps sticking on random keys occasionally, so every now and then I'll just hit a button and suddenly Foundry just starts spinning between every single token that is currently on the screen, so my map just goes oh no, stop. And how the everyone kind of coexisted for a while, as the civilizations kind of got more settled, the communities kind of split off as the needs of the two different cultures kind of divulged, where the smaller races couldn't quite live in a giant built for giant society, and vice versa. How it became the cultures didn't necessarily, the two cultures still coexisted, but the societies themselves kind of weren't able to coexist. So the Rune Giants kind of split off and took the southern part, the more inhospitable part of Kalint, where the smaller races frankly couldn't go anyways. So because it is too cold, and the smaller races stayed to the north, and trade was frequent and welcome, trade aplenty. It would just kind of cooperation. The Wrens, with your critical success, you're able to find a very dusty tome, like almost kind of like just between two bigger books. It looks like hasn't been touched in a while, and seems to go in a bit further with the Rune Giants being a sort of the disciples of the of that in a way that taught magic to the smaller races, and taught rune magic and magic as a whole to the smaller races in Flint, and how they taught them how to use runes and how to imbue runes with magical properties, and how when the great worm that was felled in Kalin was felled by um, the Rune Giants, a large contingent of Rune Giants who were uh, effectively helping defend their allies in the north from this rampaging worm that was attempting to remove remove everyone from its territory. So the Rune Giants came north with rune-powered weaponry and magic that they had acquired and slew the worm, and it kind of became a big trading hub for the Rune Giants and the other races.
Whenabouts did this stop?
You mean the cooperation?
Yes.
Um, that you would find in a more contemporary book, from what it seems. Around the time, uh, it started to be less frequent with the Duvarian Empire, presented trade with Kalint, and then ceased properly when Roshadrin came 35 years ago.
Okay, but there's nothing said of like there was no militaristic action taken. It was Kalint trading with northern neighbors rather than with the Rune Giants.
Right.
Okay, so just an eventual like distancing
And
then
yes,
complete cutoff.
and then the Roshadrins came in and began to slaughter giants
Right.
when
so
they did.
yeah, I remember that. The Roshadrins have had a policy of slaughtering giants wholesale. Which so they were still trading with giants up until Duver showed up. Is what I'm hearing, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
That is what you gather.
That's fine. I just need to be sure I'm putting this together correctly.
Right, yeah, I'm noting this down myself here.
Yeah. So, open trade with the Rune Giants in Kalint as a cooperative coexistence. And then Duver came to trade with Kalint, which caused a distancing in that trade relationship, but no outward aggression towards the Rune Giants. And then 35 years previous to today's date, Roshadran occupation takes place, and the wholesale slaughter of giants begins, which cuts off communication between Kalint and the Rune Giants completely.
Right.
The Rune Giants, however, played a significant part in defeating the worm by using rune-powered weaponry.
That is what it says, yes.
Okay, rune-powered weaponry and spell and magic of their own making.
Yes.
Okay.
And again, because you got a crit, this book alleges that the Rune Giants learned their magic from dragons.
Okay. So it would be magic as close to the source as possible.
Right. From what the book alleges, the worms, well, obviously, going off your general knowledge, what you
Yes.
know, worms are the progenitors of magic. They took the primordial forces of magic and turned it into a usable system through their draconic power,
Yeah.
their exceedingly powerful draconic power. Passed it on to the dragons. The dragons, then the giants, the Rune Giants, learned that from the dragons, converted that into runes and how to empower runes and whatnot, and then that was passed down to the Kalint people.
Okay. But it is a different system of magic from what I was then taught. Theoretically, because
Theoretically, however, you're actually not sure.
okay.
I believe there was like a little bit of this kind of context that we did have before. I think we actually heard a little bit about it talking with Ilana when we asked her about like if she and Ziga knew anything about the Rune Giants. That yeah, okay, I've got it here. They said that Rune Giants are chroniclers of the past, jealously guarding the history they keep. most aggressive of giants, seeing history as theirs to preserve. They were the ones who brought magic from dragonkind to mortals.
Right. So within the story of this region, that would make the most sense. So that does line up then.
Right.
Between what we've heard with a source as close to giants as we've gotten thus far to this book, which
Right.
is the furthest back and most detailed retelling of Kalint's relationship with the Rune Giants.
Yes.
Well, well, it seems the Rune Giants may have a much greater role to play in all this than I realized.
Yeah. It also does begin to seem that perhaps a question for our greater gestalt problem is not to be found in this city alone.
Indeed. Though with the recent change in temperament of the Rune Giants, as it were, it may not be quite so easy to try and move things in that direction, but there could be some promise to it.
If they have dealt with the dragon before, if they have dealt with dragons before in one way or another, we do know a dragon.
That we do.
And a powerful archmage.
Well, I suppose this then begs the question, having made our way here, do we try and follow on this new fool's errand?
Not yet, but we should find a way to send this information to the Archmage.
That'd be ideal, though I believe that's a bit beyond my means as it stands.
I could do it. I would just need to find. It is not a spell I know. It is something I would need to study, but I could do it.
Hmm.
There is magic that can send such messages, even across such spans of distance. I mean, anything is possible. And it gives Maha a big ol' grin. I've been to the fucking moon.
Yes, I suppose you have.
Would we even know where to, or this is to be contacting the tower back in Duvera to speak with Rune Giants?
Possibly. At least this is to inform them of what we have learned thus far. Is a reasonable status update, I do believe, at the very least. Maybe even the Lord Dragon in question might have some information about the dealings that his kind had with the Rune Giants here.
That's true. If we can find a way to actually reestablish contact, that would definitely help move things along.
Yeah.
As much history as I have with diplomacy, I foresee there being some issues if we do not have a solid basis to move forward with this.
Yeah, it's true. So yes, it is a magic I would be looking into. It's unfortunate that this is not the Academy's place, but certainly being the capital, things must float in from time to time.
That's true. Well, I suppose while we're here, is there anything else that we wanted to look into, or should we reconvene to share what we've learned and figure out how to keep going and make sure our friends haven't blown anything else up?
This has been quite a successful afternoon.
Much better than I was expecting, if I'm being honest.
Quite. This is there's much to think on. Always much to think on.
Well, the matters we're dealing with are not such simple small affairs that can be handled without thought.
It's true. Aslan, are you satisfied with what we've learned today?
I suppose this is the best we can hope for the time being.
For the time being.
There's no need to give up on further search just yet, but I think that making sure that our friends are in one piece still would be prudent.
So you guys are going to head back down?
I actually I'm going to very selfishly look into something. If you guys would mind waiting, or if you want to return, does not matter to me. Check on our friends. There's a personal matter I would like to attempt to look into. I'm gonna reach into the pouch and pull out the half melted symbol of the Knight of Krell that I keep on me.
Okay.
I've checked every library I've ever encountered. Can't hurt to check this one.
Would you like an extra pair of eyes, or
Wouldn't go amiss.
Hey. All right.
you tell me what I'm looking for? I'll see what I can find.
Anything Knights of Krell. This symbol. It's a vague but simple search, I suppose.
Give me one moment to look through folders. What?
Oh no.
While you're doing that looking, I'm gonna hit the bathroom again real quick.
Yeah.
Dan has a urinary tract infection.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That is falsehoods.
No, see, he's making sure he doesn't get one.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
You're right. Excuse me.
Probably check on Dustin while he's up, too.
Yeah. That man has been gone for now close to 2 hours. Hope everyone's having fun.
Yeah, I mean,
Pax and Fef got to shine a lot last episode, so now or last session, so now everyone else is getting a chance to.
Oh yeah, no, it's only fair.
Yeah. No, I totally get it. It does mean our hero points aren't going to get used for anything.
This
Honestly,
is true.
I will let you guys keep them to next session.
Okay.
Just because circumstance.
I'm going to take a nap. No, wait, let me hero point that.
I take a better nap.
You roll a 1. Fuck.
Never mind, I take a worse nap.
Let me hero point it again.
No, you go to hero point your nap. You take a worse nap. It's one of those naps where you wake up with like a headache and your mouth is all dry.
Oh.
All right, Satan.
I hate that. Just like that's how you nat one a nap. You critical fail a nap. Your eyes are
crit
puffy.
fail is when you wake up with all of those and you've somehow pulled a muscle in your neck.
Oh God, I know that now.
It's like, yeah, you thought you had the pillow directly under your neck column while you were sleeping on your side, but now your head turned a little bit. And now it hurts when your left side of your jaw opens.
Ugh.
Hate that.
What did I miss?
We were just talking about not wanting a nap.
Indeed. By the way, is there any sign of Dustin over there?
Apparently his cousin ended up coming over and has had him held up with something. So
Well, actually, I just realized we put stuff in the washers, so I'll be right back. I'm going to switch stuff over.
gotcha.
Artemis decided to be a little pissy butthole.
That's not where pee comes from.
You. Never change, camera. Never change.
All right.
Can't fucking believe this.
Oh, right. Sorry about that. Oh, seems TJ has left the Spotify.
Oh yeah, it took me out when I started transmitting audio. It was weird.
Yeah.
Oh, am I still in the Spotify thing?
You know what? Here, let me just do a new thing.
Let's see. It looks like me, Cam, and me, Cam, and Dave are in the listening along on Spotify, but I don't see anybody else listed there.
We're
Right.
also listening along to nothing because, as far as I can tell, it stopped playing.
Right. It hasn't for me. Yeah, hold
A
on.
little disconnect there. Okay, I guess I'll just pop out of this listen party.
Wait, hold on. Your message could not be because you don't share a server with the recipient, or the recipient only. It's sending me direct. It's sending me a direct messaging error on a server. What?
Not in the fuck?
Discord broke.
Discord machine broke.
Right? You should be able to actually right click on me and hit listen along.
There's nothing for it.
No.
Nope.
Huh.
Yeah, no. You're not even on Spotify as far as this is concerned.
Jesus Christ. All right, Discord's super broke. Okay, I can still fucking send regular messages.
Yep.
There we go.
There it goes.
Hey, all right.
Yay.
All right. So, you guys are looking for, or you are looking for, Knights of Krell information that could lead to the Knights of Krell. Okay. I'm gonna say, give me either. I'm gonna say this will be a society check with a higher DC.
Okay.
Society or religion.
Both are equal from my end, so that is fine.
Okay. As you guys search, again, probably about another 2 hours, you don't really find anything.
I figured not.
Oh, excuse me. And eventually, as you guys are kind of finishing up, yes, the we live in a society check. Thank you. As we finish up, as you guys finish up, the librarian does come by and says, we will be closing soon, but you may
Right.
return tomorrow.
Thank you.
We may just do that. We'll have to see if there's anything else that catches our eye, though. There may well be. But I appreciate you giving us the chance to look around.
Of course, I hope I hope you enjoyed your day, and I hope you found information that you were looking for.
Thank you. Well, shall we be off then? All right. Let's get ourselves back to the inn and hopefully not have any surprises waiting for us.
As you come back to the next best thing, it is gone. No. It is a smoldering crater. Only Fef remains.
This was to be expected.
My argument for the fact that I didn't do it is that I'm the only thing not exploded, so clearly I didn't explode. Everything else is what exploded, you see.
Well, you can't beat that logic.
Counterpoint. Shut.
That is also a good point.
Okay.
Yeah, don't you guys come back, make your way back down to Lower Jaw region. And when you get there, it's about it's getting either close to sundown or a little past sundown as you are starting to join the you're starting to join what would effectively be the rush hour foot traffic back home. A lot of people just kind of moving back to their homes and whatnot. There's a lot of hustle and bustle. And as you guys are filtering back into the next best thing, you guys are not the only ones coming to the tavern. There are a lot of people, or the inn, I should say. There are a lot of people, joining you, coming in, getting their after work drinks, and their dinners.
Right. And I do hope that I guess our Fevin packs just out and about in the lobby, or are they up in the room?
That is up to them. Also, no, I get it. Tavern is correct.
I assumed up in the room.
Same.
Okay, so yeah, you don't see them immediately when you enter.
Right.
However, upon inspecting your room, you would find them up in the room, of course.
Right.
You check the room. There's no one there. Beth and Pax, who are in the room, do not see you.
Fuck, this again.
You should become disjointed in reality.
I hate that Fef said again.
That's fair. It is concerning again.
It's like, oh, sorry, I dissociated for a sec there.
I dissociated a reality.
Right. For a second, it looked like I was just looking down at a cutoff of the top of the inn.
Oh no. Dissociated through the fourth wall.
Oh no.
Y'all ever dissociate so hard that you...
You accidentally install source.
Oh god, yeah, okay.
But in reality,
I can see the source code, guys. It's really ugly. Who fucking devved this? Yandere dev?
Just, oh god, there's no comments.
no, because it's actually happening.
There it is. I was waiting for it. Oh god, there are dev comments. Oh no.
Most of the dev comments are just help.
Oh no. Help, or what, or why?
Why does this work? I don't know why it works.
Shrug emoji.
Sometimes dev comments are notes to do something that'll never get done.
True. True. So yeah, what will you guys be doing? You guys have come back to the tavern, get to your room. You are reconnected with your party members.
Yeah. Just coming back and seeing the group just... well, good to see that you haven't been hauled off.
Yeah, I was a little bit hoping that something would happen, but no, yeah, we're still here.
I am glad nothing happened.
I would say I can make something happen.
You stay out of this, God.
What? What?
Though as it would seem the Rashadrans are content to tell it, nothing else needs to happen.
Well, that's unfortunate for us and everyone else involved.
Yes, as far as they're concerned, they captured and executed every dissident that was at the meeting yesterday. No problems.
It.
Yeah, so do most of the common folk believe. The upper crust seem quite eager to eat the story up, though.
So it would seem that trying to influence the movers and shakers to go against Rashadran is not going to be very likely. The upper echelon.
Or it'll be hilariously likely, and that's where we need to start.
Or not. Counterpoint. No.
I'll be right back. I gotta blow my nose.
Maybe we should just brainstorm ideas for things we could not even feasibly do, just things that would cause enough issue that aren't open violence. Like, I've had too much time to think how difficult would it be to freeze the bay and stop ships from coming in? That would cause problems on a wide scale that don't involve violence.
It would, though a matter of feasibility of doing so and whether that causes enough of an issue to sufficiently destabilize things.
Look, I said ideas, not necessarily good ones. I don't have this info.
I understand, and I do appreciate you having your suggestions, just trying to think things through. Though, besides just getting the word from the townsfolk on what the take was on the matter of the dissidents last night, we did also end up making a stop to the library to try and get some info on our other objective, the potential for how to stop the dragons and the worms, as it were. Which there was a fairly interesting bit of discovery we had on that end. Though what it would lead us to is certainly something that is a bit of a tall ask.
Tall.
We have to talk to the giants, don't we?
Most likely.
Fuck.
I love PAX. I love PAX. Just, that would mean talking to the Giants, wouldn't it? Likely. Fuck.
As far as we're able to tell from the historical records we could find, the giants actually were once rather peaceful cooperators with the, as they put it, the smaller races of Kalint. It was only when the Devarian Empire came in that the relations dropped slightly as more focus was put on the northern nations, and then completely severed when the Rashadrans came in and attempted slaughtering the giants wholesale. However, this does mean that we may potentially be able to have some manner of in with the giants if we can convince them of who the enemy truly is in this and be able to reopen potential for trade, dialogue, some manner of peace. It's a bit of a long shot, but we've seen quite a number of unlikely things. Though Lorenz did say that there was a matter that could help us, which I agree, of trying to actually contact Headmaster Leland and fuck, why am I forgetting his name?
Let me check my notes. If I can find it.
Uh,
Uh, uh, Vaustrix.
Ostrix, yeah.
Vaustrix.
If we can contact Leland and Vaustrix to potentially get more accurate word from a dragon on how matters might stand to move with the giants, that could give us a possible way forward. Just, well, trying to get that communication from here to there is not a simple task.
No.
Obviously, traditional means are out of the question, as we can't exactly just try and send a letter to the capital of the opposing nation. It raises a few too many red flags, that.
As I said, there is magic that can do it. There's a spell of sending, as it is known. It is advanced, but within my comprehension, I do believe.
Yes, I believe I remember using a sending service at one point for reaching the Draconic Historians League.
Yeah.
God, that feels like a lifetime ago.
It does. It's the same magic as is used as at a sending post, as we have used in the continent proper. But a little more secure as a result of being just unscrew myself or whoever might be in possession of the object doing the magic. So sending is usually a two-way spell when enchanted. It will take a bit of delving.
Well, it still seems like a worthwhile endeavor.
Yeah.
I would certainly feel a lot more comfortable, though I suppose even saying comfortable is a bit of a stretch. I would feel less fucking terrified dealing with the Rune Giants if we had some manner of insight from Leland and Veostrix.
Precisely. Any information we can get at this point is a boon. This is going to be a lot of learning and enough acting at very precise moments.
Indeed. Now, as for Fef and Pax, it would seem that you're right. There doesn't seem to be any active search going for you as it stands, though we did notice a few more patrols than there were yesterday. So while they don't seem to have any wanted posters or bounties as it stands, they are trying to keep an eye out on things. So while you may not be specifically being searched for, please don't give them a reason.
Mahajapit begging.
A reasonable amount of laying low in the streets will get you by, though. It's not like every citizen and newsboy on the corner is looking for you.
Indeed.
I mean,
At
try.
most, if any of the guards that were at that point saw you, they specifically might raise an eyebrow, but just, again, if you can just wear anything different from what you had that night, keep a low profile, and again, don't give them reason to go after you.
I already took off the clothing I was wearing from that night.
I got prestidigitation, apparently.
That's just, wow, I look a lot better. Holy shit.
Smell it too.
Shit. It's true.
But at the very least, we do know a bit more on where the general populace lies in opinion on Rashadrin and their news or propaganda, as it were, and have a potential avenue on dealing with the dragons. It's just pushing everything forward from here on out.
So, from what I gather, you guys are gonna, in the morning, attempt to try and find a place or a way to get Lorenz ascending, effectively.
It's my goal
Believe
personally.
that would be a good thing if we can try and get a hold of that. But and I know you said that the Magic Academy, as it were, isn't around here. But yeah, if there's anything that could facilitate that,
Right.
maybe.
Okay. Then am I safe to assume that you guys are going to be just kind of bunkering down for the evening and waiting till morning?
I think so.
Okay.
I think the day's events are pretty well set.
Sure. Then everyone can do a rest on their character sheet. I'll skip time ahead. And that is actually, I think, where we'll call the session tonight. That way, Dan, you can get to bed and get ready for your overtime tomorrow. And that gives me a good jumping off place of where to prepare for the next session.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Because
Yep,
the last few sessions, I've definitely been like, all right, let's stop here. When you guys are at a very open-ended fucking time and place of like, where do we want to go next? I'm like, oh fuck, what do I fucking prepare? Oh no.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why it's nice to just have like a couple of different frameworks set and then just fill in details.
Yep.
If I can make a possible suggestion,
Mhm.
Instead of trying to go through having Lorenz learning the spell, maybe the first step would be the market and seeing if they have a staff capable of casting it.
Yeah,
instead.
that actually was going to be
Right.
just looking for either magic items with sending on it, or like barring that, then the
Literally just
capability
a
to learn.
staff of sending.
Yeah, well, staff of sending. I mean, any magical item could have sending in it. It's one of those spells.
Right. Staff of sending, scrolls of sending, whatever it
Right.
really would be.
Right. It would be. I couldn't learn it quite yet because it is a 5th level spell. But
Yeah.
Right.
yeah, so items first. Items first, formula second, is kind of the goal here.
Right. All right. I'm gonna give, because there wasn't much combat, but there was some pretty good role playing. I'm gonna give everyone 100 experience.
Yay!
So it should put everyone at 275.
Hey.
And then yeah, there's a bit of a shorter session, but that's okay. We'll come back at it next week, assuming no great calamities, and we'll delve further into Wormrest and see what you guys can find in terms of magical items. So that being said, thank everyone for hanging out with us. I hope you all had fun. Oh, I did. We'll see you guys, and as always, stay good, neighborhood. See you guys soon.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.